The other thing about Chapin was he has a path, and there he had a path for me. I was ending my stay-at-home mom years and my teaching years. The kids were all in public school, so I wasn't going to be teaching in their schools anymore, and I needed something else. I wasn't one to stay home, scrapbook, and clean house. And so over a course of a few months, I put myself in a master's program and went back to school. And my husband really supported me in that, which I needed. So while my kids were in high school, I was in school too. And like any good counseling program, they make you take a look back. And that's what happened to me. Because you know what? We have to be healthy to sit with other people. And so I thought I had done all this work. I'd been in church. I had talked to many people in my teens, done some work on my dysfunctional past. But what I realized, all of us in this room have a backpack that we carry. And it's all these little hurts that we've assumed. And I had a really big boulder in mine that kind of got exposed in counseling. It was my stepfather. He was bipolar disorder, very abusive, and really did some havoc and damage to the 5 children that were in our house, me being the middle child. And so I had to work through an inventory of the way he had wronged me. And that inventory was a journaling process. It was a way for me to grieve what had been and the lists that I had accumulated, the hurts that still came in if they were triggered or if they were related to, they would come up in me. And I wanted to break that chain of grief. Now, this didn't mean that I justified what he did. I learned what bipolar was, of course. And I realized every day when us kids got up, we looked at Jack and we read what he was like. What is he going to be today? And you know what? That's kind of a lot of pressure to walk on eggshells like that. But it really now, God is using that in my office with eyes to see when I need to see. The doctor that I'm with, he sat with me one time and he said, Denise, you can see atypical bipolar disorder. I rarely have a therapist that can do that. And I said, well, you don't know where I've lived. And so God took that and he was making it for my good in the ministry that he was giving me in the counseling office. This forgiveness that I did with Jack, this process, it wasn't for him. Do you know he lives a mile from my home place in Inman? But we're not running over to his door to introduce our children to him. He rarely sees us, even when he's out. We don't speak to him anymore because we had good boundaries. He's a really angry person. And he wasn't ever going to come to me and say, Denise, I'm so sorry for everything I did. I didn't need that to forgive him. That forgiveness was for me and me alone. And you know, by the end of that program, my pack got a whole lot lighter. It isn't that on occasion I'm not triggered still when I see something that's similar to him. I get that feeling up in me, but you know what? I know it doesn't have power over me anymore. I want that for my clients. I want that for you. So if you sit here today with a pack, know that you can be free and it can shrink so much down in size.